So Leo just got back and
Honda amigos.
Dana sent us some goodies. Do you guys remember these shift knobs that one of his subscribers sent him? Oh shit, I've never actually held one of these. These things are freaking heavy.
Yeah.
He sent us each back one of them. Oh, this one's longer.
I think it's just because it doesn't have the little bevel. See how this one has the flange bottom? And that's kind of just tiny.
Well, I have bigger hands, so this one kind of fits me better.
Hey, what does that mean?
Yeah? My bad, you guys. A bunch of stuff happened and I went to the dentist and we're back home. So, Leo is also back home, right? And I don't know if Dana recorded any of this or if you're going to see it on his channel, but he did polish one of Leo's fenders. If you guys remember, this was the very first time I ever sprayed Rust-Oleum, and Dana said that there was no need to respray it, that it could be saved. And this was his work.
This one right here on the hood, that one, this one, yeah, it's silky smooth. This one's definitely done at a shop, even though it's got some flaws, but...
Thanks, Street Conjo.
This guy, no, but definitely, like, thanks. Like, this guy, you know, definitely came through for us, gave us an amazing deal on an amazing hood, and that is one of a time. But talking of one of a time, are you ready?
What's happening?
Nah, you're not ready.
I'm ready. What's going on?
You're not ready.
Yeah, Dana's really great at saving Rust-Oleum, I guess. He only did one side because he said homework is to save this side ourselves. See, that's what it looked like. That was the first time I sprayed Rust-Oleum. Like, this bumper looks the way the fender looks, and this is after Dana polished it. Dana didn't touch the bumper and they look the same. That's freaking awesome. So let's go see what Leo's talking about.
Dude, you're not ready.
What do you have? A 2000?
Well, yeah, that's a 2000. So you know how I was up in the bay, right? Back home. So I got you something.
Bro, you got the rears?
Yeah.
So I don't have to go buy that rusty CRX?
I mean, we still can, but
What the fruh?
you don't gotta hit the road with that.
So I have fucking 4 mud flaps. Guys, I don't know. I have not gotten to editing, so I don't know where the clips are gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna be in a video already posted that you guys already saw. Recently, Leo gave me 2 front mud flaps for my CRX as a gift. And if you guys know, front mud flaps on the CRX are probably the most difficult freaking thing to find. Like, honestly, I wasn't trying to find front mud flaps. Like, when the time came, I was gonna drop the freaking money on them, you know? Haha, hood seal. But because of Leo, I now have a freaking full set of front mud flaps. No, I have a full set of mud flaps, all 4 wheels, for my freaking red car, and that's freaking amazing. That's so awesome.
Oh, and I also found this in my yard. It's a Honda OEM CD player with the, like, I think this is like the 1000 series for EGs. But I have the code, I just need to clean it.
Cool. And then, because the last clips kind of got a little chaotic, this is a gift from Dana that he sent down with Leo. This is actually what he says is one of his first impact guns. I just need to get a battery and a charger, which I have already ordered actually. So we're about to build some EFs with one of Dana's first guns. Okay, you guys, so we are actually heading out to the desert right now to go and meet somebody that I met on Instagram, somebody who started following the channel and watching the vlog.
We're going to Burning Man.
Yeah, we're going to Burning Man. But anywho, big shout out to Taze B18 CRX. I'm gonna put his Instagram right here. Give him a follow. He's freaking amazing. Basically, he's parting out a CRX. He bought a Rex CRX for one of his projects, I guess, and he is donating the complete rear interior to the free RX. And he's actually already got it all pulled out. He is actually working on parting out the car right now as we speak. So we're gonna get on the road and we're gonna go meet up with him. So see y'all over there.
Yeah, if there's anything that you think you need for like the other CRX, like the dash and stuff, I pretty much wanted to keep for my stuff.
Yeah.
But my dash is pretty clean too, so you guys can check it out. This is how you know, like,
Guys, the Pexi VTEC controller.
on the active seats.
Really? That's what I'm sitting on? Oh my god.
So it's all running off the VTEC controller, so it's.
Yeah, I'm looking at that because Leo just got this.
I know. I seen you guys post that. That's why I was like, ooh, like someone actually runs this. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I've been afraid to buy a whole new harness to do anything because like it works so good.
It doesn't line up because it's not in.
guys, the free RX is almost complete. Interior's complete. God, I don't even know what to say. Welcome back, you guys. So if you have not already checked out Tay's Instagram, please guys, pull out your phones right now, check out Tay's B18 CRX on Instagram, give him a follow, blow him up with likes. This guy is freaking awesome. I got to meet him and his girlfriend, and they both watch the channel. They both love the channel. Just freaking good energy all around. It was so freaking awesome to get to meet them. And guys, the free RX is no longer gutted. The free RX, well, the free RX has a free interior. And if you are new to the channel, or if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We're freaking happy to have you. My name is Nate. I save EFs, and well, I was given a free CRX. She ain't the prettiest. She's a little rough, but in a very short amount of time, you guys, the community has come together and freaking thrown together a car at this point. When I got this car, it was a shell. It had no interior. It actually had a lot of interior from different cars. It had an EF hatch dash. It had an EF hatch fender. That's why it's missing one fender. It had miscellaneous EG interior, miscellaneous Integra DC interior, but not really anything that we actually needed. Actually, it has carpet. However, the carpet is very, very dirty. We're gonna have to shampoo that. We're gonna have to pull everything out of it. And that was pretty much where the free RX stood if you guys have not been keeping up to date with the build. However, Tay hit me up on Instagram, and basically the story goes, he bought a very, very minty CRX SI. It's an 89 with almost complete 9091 spec, but it looks like a drunk driver hit a curb and ended up damaging the rear end, like to the point where the entire shell was warped. And he bought the car for really, really cheap. And well, he hit me up and he said he wanted to give the interior and pretty much anything else that we would need as a donation to the channel, as a contribution to the free RX build. I almost honestly couldn't believe it. And we went over there. He already had everything pulled. He already had it all like very neatly wrapped. He had all of the hardwares in little baggies. I'm gonna get into the interior later because this is actually not going to be an interior video. This is gonna be an exterior video. Let's get going. So the free RX needs a lot of exterior work. To start off with the theme of the build, this is a white hood provided by KJ Laquata. I would really like to source original body parts in frost white. I just think it would be really nice to have all of the original paint. The only problem is that frost white is going to be very difficult to find. Frost white, if you guys do not know, was only offered in 1 year. 1991. All other years were polar white, and polar white is actually a little darker. Frost white really pops. But I don't know. We're gonna throw this hood on today. I have brought pretty much all of the hardware to button up the CRX, because if you guys don't remember, I kind of just threw everything on just to mock it up so that way you could see, so that way you guys could see what we had, kind of so that way I could see what we had too. But I'm actually going to button up the car properly. Obviously, the environment that we are in right now is not a very good environment to build a car in. This is really honestly just storage. This was never intended to be a place where we worked at. So because there's been so much interest in the CRX build already, because we have everyone from you guys, the subscribers, donating parts, to maXpeedingrods themselves joining the team and sending us parts to help out with the build, I am literally $0 invested into this build. It is called the CRX for a reason. It was free. I found a 10x15 storage unit nearby, and you need at least a 10x13 to store a CRX. So right now our goal is to turn this car into a roller. To help out with that, maXpeedingrods has sent us their traction bar. Right now this bar is on maXpeedingrods website for less than $100, but if you use my discount code SAVETHEEFS, you can get an additional 15% off, and I also believe shipping is free. So check that out, you guys. This is a very good bar. I'm actually very impressed with this product itself, and that's genuine. Like, I'm not ever gonna tell you guys to run something that I would not run on my own personal cars. The CRX is my car, and if I didn't like this bar, I wouldn't put this bar on the CRX. I'm actually very excited to install this, and I am very excited to have maXpeedingrods as a partner. If you guys are in need of a cheap traction bar, definitely consider this option. This is a very high quality bar. It's very heavy and it's made right. I've already test fitted it just for fitment purposes. I didn't want to make this video and have issues installing it. So the bar does fit perfectly fine. A lot of eBay bars and a lot of eBay products will have trouble fitting, and for this price range, I am really thoroughly impressed. They even complete it with the innovative fourth engine mount bracket, so you can run the innovative fourth engine mount, which I believe is available on eBay. This bar is freaking awesome. If you need a traction bar and if you are on a budget, definitely consider this bar and definitely take advantage of the discount code. That's gonna all be in the description. So again, another big shout out to Tay, because he also provided us all of the hardware from the part out CRX. These are the long bolts that go through the stock cross member or the traction bar, and then these short ones are the bolts that go into the control arms. And let me show you why these bolts are unique. You can see that these bolts are tapered at the end, and if you don't have that taper, if you use non-tapered bolts, if you use any bolts other than the radius rod bolts, well, you're gonna strip your control arm. Ask me how I know. And then I also brought over from my personal collection, these are just all of the little screws that attach your bumpers to the fender and quarter panel mounts. And then these are just all of the 10 millimeters that hold CRX fenders and hoods on, because I basically plan to get this car completely buttoned up. As you guys also saw, no turn signals. Well, thanks to Tay, we now have SI turn signals. So we're gonna get all of these parts installed, but most importantly, let's get the traction bar thrown on. So my first time opening the bearings, the joints. They thread in really nice. maXpeedingrods provides you 2 of these, and you're gonna get 2 nuts. Here is the hardware that maXpeed provides you. You're gonna get these 2 long bolts with nuts at the end. The nuts are gonna have locking washers, and then you're gonna get a series of washers and spherical bearings. Basically, you have them set up like this, and then you are also going to get 2 larger nuts, and then you will be provided 2 joints for the ends of the radius rods. Pretty much you're going to set them up like this. You're pretty much going to just put one of the larger nuts onto the joint and then screw the joint in. At this point, we're not going to tighten anything down because we do not know how long either of these rods need to be. So just thread them in, put the nut on, leave it all loose. As for OEM hardware, we will be reusing our cross member mounting bolts and our OEM radius rod to lower control arm mounting bolts. You need these 8 bolts and the Max Speeding provided hardware to get this fully installed. So let's go. So for anyone that doesn't know, what a traction bar does is it bolts to those 2 bolt holes and those 2 bolt holes. It is a bar placed right underneath the radiator beam, and it pretty much pulls the lower control arms forward. When getting in alignment, you could choose to have your wheels pulled a little foot further into the well, because naturally EF wheels sit kind of like towards the rear of the well. Install is relatively freaking easy. All you're going to do is obviously remove your stock cross member, and you're going to line up the mounting holes on the bar with the bolt holes down here. You have a lot of holes down here, I know, but only 2 of them actually have nuts, and it is this one and it is this one. These are the 2 that you're actually going to put those long bolts through, mounting the bar to the car. Jack underneath the lower control arm, jack it up to ride height. As you can see, the bearing is almost lined up, so pretty much what we're going to do, because we need to extend it, is lower the control arm, and then we will be able to twist the joint. Let's do that. And it helps if I have both hands, which I have now. And pretty much just let's give it a couple threads, and then let's put it back in there. The nut the Max Speeding Rod provides is a 19 millimeter, just for your guys' reference. So let's take this apart, don't lose any washers. So we're going to remove the washer, the bearing, and that bearing, all the way down. I know you guys can't really see it, but you'll get what I'm doing in a second. I hope you guys caught that, but pretty much what I did was I placed both bearing ends into the joint, and now you put your bolt with your washer in, a washer on the other side, and then your locking nut on the inside, and that is all there is to it. 2 19s should tighten this. So that's pretty much how you're going to set up the spherical bearings. So let's recap. You have those 2 bolts right there, long bolt with the spherical bearings, and then 2 bolts down here. That's all you have to do, and then the same thing on the other side. And we can even lower our control arm, and it is a lot more stable. Pretty much what the main difference between a traction bar and your stock cross member is going to be is this spherical bushing right here. One of the main reasons that we EF owners and Honda owners in general like to go traction bar is because the traction bar clears up a lot of space in the engine bay. Like, look at that. Imagine the cross member here, what that would look like. That takes up significantly more space. Having a traction bar allows you to have a B-swap header, and it pretty much just gives you more room for activities. But stability wise, handling wise, the main difference is going to come from the spherical bearing right here, because the spherical bearing, as you guys can see, cannot have any play in it whatsoever. If you guys know, on your stock cross member, you actually are going to have 2 rubber bushings right here, and those bushings act as cushion. They move. So this is basically going to tie your 2 lower control arms into each other. This is going to tie your front wheels together. What you're doing right here is you are eliminating any back and forth movement in your suspension. Now, it is going to feel a little rougher when you hit bumps running a traction bar, but overall you're going to have a much tighter wheelbase. You're going to have much less play, and you're going to have much less movement when you're taking corners and pretty much during any kind of driving. The traction bar is going to promote traction. I know I don't particularly weigh a lot, but this bar is freaking solid, guys. Check that out. No flex at all. Feels super solid underneath my feet. I don't know if that's any good way to test bars, but that's usually how I test the traction bar. I just go and get on top of it. So that's freaking awesome. What this is going to allow us to do is we're going to be able to put wheels on this car, and we're going to be able to roll it and have it go in a straight line without the wheels going in all kinds of crazy directions. And on top of that, we now have the first piece of our suspension setup. We have an innovative traction bar. So this is freaking awesome. We're already one step closer. This car is going to need a full suspension overhaul. We are going to need to do pretty much everything: bearings, rotors, brakes, it needs coilovers, it needs upper control arm bushings, it needs freaking lower control arm bushings. So pretty much needs the works. And then under the hood, it looks like they went over it with like a rattle can. This looks like rattle can white. So that's something for us to think about. The bay doesn't look bad. I'm gonna be honest, the bay does not look bad. We need to freshen up the brake booster and the cross member, and honestly this bay will pop. It doesn't look bad at all. We could clear it. We could just leave the paint alone, scruff up the paint, and we could clear it. You guys already saw how the red CRX engine bay came out, so I don't know. Maybe we might want to clear this and just run it as is. We're definitely going to respray the lower support black. The bar looks so freaking good in this car. I absolutely love the color, guys. Like, that could not have worked out better for this build. I absolutely love the color. I think this bar is freaking awesome. This is already the start of a really good build. So, yes, the car is freaking dirty beyond belief. But, unfortunately, this is just storage. So, I really don't have access to a pressure washer. I don't have access to any kind of water. I don't even have a hose to degrease it with. Pretty much, I don't even have power. So pretty much all we're trying to do right now is get the car out of here. And we are so much closer now that we have this bar installed. Next thing that I want to do is I want to get the white hood thrown on, and I want to get the fender thrown on with all of the actual hardware. As you guys can see, I kind of just finger tightened whatever hardware was thrown around here. Pretty much, we can't wash the car, unfortunately, but we can still go through all of the junk that's just laying around, and we can tidy it up. Like, we have all of these random cables and stuff. This is our hood latch cable, but we don't even have a T-bar. I have a T-bar. I have a white T-bar that I can provide this car. I just realized that I own that, so that's freaking cool. But if you guys have watched all the way to this point in the video, thank you so much. That's freaking awesome. If you guys want to grab yourself an innovative bar, if you guys want to grab yourself a maXpeedingrods bar, a traction bar, go ahead and use my discount code SAVETHEEFS. I'm going to actually put a link for the traction bar right at the top of the description. So please open the description, click on that link, check out the bar. I don't know, just click on it and look at it. As for everything that Tay gave us, guys, we actually got a lot of stuff. We pretty much have an entire interior, and yes, guys, that is a cargo box. This is probably one of the coolest things. I have actually owned 3 CRXs in my life, and I have never once owned a working cargo box. And inside of the cargo box, we have the sunroof gasket, and we also have that centerpiece for right up there. So that's freaking cool, and it's fully functional. It's perfect, honestly. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. That's freaking awesome. We also got these quarter panel. We also got this quarter panel interior with all of the little pieces. We have the speaker pods and we have the speaker covers. We have them for both sides. We even have, if you know, you know. And not only that, we do have a rear divider. So pretty much our rear interior is complete. The car is a mess. I know there's a bunch of leaves in it and it's just gross. I'm sorry about that. I don't like it either. I really wish I could clean it, but unfortunately we're gonna have to wait until the next video when we move this car into its storage. Well, it will be hibernating and being built at. Over there we'll be able to wash it, we'll be able to clean it, and we will be able to pretty much just go forward with this build. Right now we're just working with what we got. We're working in the freaking dirt and the mud. Look at my freaking pants. But we're getting it done, right? We're saving EFs because anyone can save EFs. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. This build is even more ridiculous than the red one, and we're gonna do it. This car is gonna get on the road. Pull the wires through. Well, check her out, guys. She's looking freaking clean. I also noticed that we have a bolt hole right here. It's a 10mm. It basically is a part of the radiator support, but this is missing on the other side of the car. It's like cut off this little ear. So we don't have that, but we do have that bolt. And then you're gonna have this bolt, which bolts to the fender. We don't have a fender, but over here you can see it. See? One bolt right there. Should have a nut right there, but we do not have that nut, so we can't put the bolt. And then another bolt right here. And this fender is very stiff. Very, very stiff. She's on there. Sheesh, boy. So, it's been a little while since the last clip. Camera died. I'm recording with Leo's phone now, but that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the video, guys. Got the traction bar installed. We got the CRX back on our four wheels, and now we can actually push it around and actually turn the wheels and actually have it move in one direction. I already let you guys in on the secret for the next episode of the CRX build. When we get on that, we're gonna move the CRX out of here. So next episode, expect to see the CRX washed. We're gonna go through it, we're gonna vacuum all of the crud out of it, we're gonna get it out of this freaking lot. We're gonna move it into a storage container. We're gonna basically clean it up, put it away, and we're gonna begin collecting parts and brainstorming ideas for it. Let me know in the comments right now what you guys want to see this build turn into. I'm thinking about doing an OEM Plus build right now that I have all of this interior, because before when the car was gutted, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. But thank you so much, Tay. Thanks so much, brother, for everything that you donated. Now that we have a freaking complete interior, I'm really thinking about doing an OEM Plus build, pretty much just making this car mint. I'm thinking about just keeping the build simple and reliable and pretty much just building myself a daily out of the CRX. Let me know what you guys think. I'm also thinking about the idea of even just doing that, driving the car around for a couple months and maybe even raffling it off. I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see about the build. But we also need to give a huge shout out to maXpeedingrods, who is now on board with the CRX build. So huge shout out to maXpeedingrods for sending the maXpeeding traction bar. If you guys want to grab a traction bar like this for yourselves, for your CRX or for your EF, make sure you open up the description. Make sure you actually read the description. A lot of you guys ask for our Instagrams. The Instagrams are always in the description. So make sure you guys open up that description. There's going to be a link right at the top to the maXpeedingrods webpage for the traction bar. I'm basically going to link you guys right there. Make sure you use my discount code SAVETHEEFS. You'll get 15% off. It comes out to being a really cheap traction bar. If you guys are on a budget, or you guys just want a simple upgrade for your stock cross member, or maybe you guys are running a header and you got your cross member all cut up. If your cross member is all cut up right now and you can't afford 70 bucks for this traction bar, I don't know what to tell you. But just on a real one, you guys are amazing. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank every single one of you, even the one guy who keeps disliking the freaking videos. Like, thank you all for everything that you guys do for the channel. This is freaking incredible. Everything you are staring at right here has come from you guys. The CRX was given to me by a subscriber. Tay was just another subscriber who hit me up with all of this interior. Freaking guys, everything so far has been community support. Big shout out to maXpeedingrods once again. Freaking big shout out to Dana, because honestly guys, huge shout out to Dana. I am nothing more than grateful. I just want you guys to know that. I'm absolutely stoked at where the channel has come, at what the channel has become, and freaking hell guys, I've got some big surprises for y'all. Don't worry, I have not just been sleeping. I've been working very hard on a lot of stuff for the channel. It is honestly starting to rain, so I'm gonna get out of here. But sheesh, boy. If you guys saw anything in this video that you liked, or if you didn't like anything at all, please hit that like button. Hit the dislike button if you want. It doesn't matter. Just be interactive. If you guys want to grab yourself that maXpeeding traction bar, make sure you hit the like button. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys want to see the build become. And, well, if you didn't like the video, like Bravis always says, maybe y'all just need to lower your standards, because this is what we're working with, and I'm perfectly happy with it. Are you? Save an EF, guys. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just do it.